working with an artist, with a musician, what are the traits that you most appreciate in that artist? In terms of, I guess, how can a musician meet you halfway to make the results better and more plentiful in the work that you do together?
It's a great question. And it really varies because everyone's situation is a little bit different. So certain things that I would need from one artist will be different from what I maybe would need from another artist. But in general, I would say, first of all, having a realistic understanding of the landscape is really important. And I would say that for the most part, I try to work with people that are really great and that give a good vibe and that understand that. But sometimes we do have to remind clients like, hey, like we're dealing with, a very specific world. Like the jazz world is really unique and it's very, I keep saying it's its own ecosystem, but it truly is. And it's very unique from other genres of music. And the way that even PR is done is different than maybe what, you would see in a more pop music campaign. So I really try to, if my artist has an understanding of what we're dealing with and understands the playing field, that makes things much easier. It's really kind of a nightmare, honestly, if I have an artist come to me and they're like, okay, so like I'm expecting, the cover of Downbeat and I want to get on the New York Times playlist. And I also, really want to get something from NPR. And I also, and it's like, we all want those things. Like we're always looking for those things, but we also have to understand that this specific market, jazz is like, 1.8% of the entire music market. It is just a teeny little fraction. And so the opportunities for jazz artists to get coverage are often like a teeny slice of the already small slice of music coverage that the New York Times is giving or NPR is giving or whatever. So if an artist understands that, cool. Younger artists sometimes don't get that. And this is their wake up call. And then when they do get that, they're like, oh, okay, I get it. But sometimes it takes them having to go through that experience to understand that. On a more kind of just technical side, artists that have a good social media presence makes my life a lot easier, especially if there is the possibility for crossover stuff. A lot of these outlets that cover everything, it really is important for them to see a strong social media support. And I know this sounds like, I guess it's becoming more and more accepted that this is kind of the way things are. It is still kind of a drag for me to have to tell a client, hey, like this outlet can't consider you because you have under 15,000, people on your, likes on Instagram or followers on Instagram. That's a terrible thing to have to report to someone because it has nothing to do with the music or their story, but unfortunately, like these are all part of the package now. So if an artist has a strong social media thing and a strong social media presence, it really helps. It also helps if they're on tour. If an artist is out there, it gives a lot more opportunity for things to be covered. If someone's not going to be on tour and there's no opportunity for people to see them, it's really hard for me to convince sometimes journalists to cover them because they don't really know, like, they're not really sure like who they're covering because they haven't been able to experience them live. You can only get so much from a recording. And with jazz, it's like people really want to, they really want to experience the whole deal. So that can also be really helpful. People have tour dates and are out there. And if they're not, it does make the job a little harder. There's a lot of different facets. Then other times, there's just really incredible projects that come out of nowhere and from someone who no one knows. And, things catch on and before you know it, it's all over the place and it's like a freak thing. And maybe they're not live and they don't have social media and they're just like an amazing artist that just got discovered. And that does happen, but it's like few and far between that happens.